everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm doing a movie review on a Spanish film which is called The Night of the Virgin, and which is in Spanish La Noche del Virgin, if my Spanish is like sounding right now. And it's directed by Roberto San Sebastian and written by Guillermo Guerrero, just that right? And it's basically starring Javier Bardallo, Miriam Martin, Victor. So I'm reading off the phone because I ain't gonna remember. I've just finished work, so my memory. So Victor Amalabia and Ignatius Ferre, Rocio Suarez. So basically, I basically bought this film recently. I watched it on DVD, and it's basically a story of a naive 20-year-old boy called Nico, who is played by Javier Bardallo, and he basically is determined to lose his virginity. He goes to a New Year's Eve party right at the beginning of the film, and he meets basically a woman called Medea, who's played by Miriam Martin. And so I watched this film last night, and he basically finds Medea, and then he's just like, she's just an older woman basically. He meets at a party, and he's just eager to lose his virginity. So he goes to a creepy apartment. The apartment's already creepy with cockroaches everywhere. So wouldn't you just like want to run out after seeing the first cockroach anyway? But he just carries on going in, and it's just really. So he's eager to like lose his virginity sort of thing, but obviously, sorry, my hair's just gone in my mouth. And sorry, I'm trying to think what happens after that. So he goes there, and it's just like all really weird. The whole film's just like, I felt the film, I just find his character like very annoying, to be honest. And so I bought this film on DVD recently, and I really had high hopes for it because I thought it'd be like a Spanish version of like a Misery sort of film, which came out in 1990, and I thought it'd be like a Spanish version similar to that, not exactly the same story, of course. I was just expecting something quite similar, and it just turned out to be like a disappointment, a big disappointment. When I watched it last night, I was just like, oh my god, I just don't know how to explain the story. So it's a bit of a spoiler alert as well. I'm gonna like giving this review as well. So what happens is it's just like all really. So it's just got cockroaches in the house, and like she makes it obvious that she worships some like god or something, and where she like. This is literally how graphic and kind of gruesome the film sort of is. She leaves her period blood basically. I don't know how to like say that like in the bathroom, in a glass, in the bathroom, and he sees it when he goes and uses the bathroom, and he questions her about it, and she's like, oh, it's just for my goddess I bow down to, and stuff like that, and we have to do this and that, so and it's like, he just sort of ignores everything, because I think he's just desperate just to get laid, basically, and I think he's just ignoring stuff, and his friends keep messaging him throughout on WhatsApp, saying, you know, you're getting on with the granny, just joking about with him. And then what happens is, all of a sudden she just like she's just talking to him throughout the whole film, and just like when she comes to his apartment, and it's just taking ages to get to like, you know, him getting over and done with. She just keeps talking to him, and then next thing, wait, I'm trying to remember. His friends are like, oh, come see us, and then he's like about to leave, go and see his friends, and then the woman like. She's playing music out loud. Then she pauses the music just so he can hear her cry, and she starts crying. And then she's like, oh, you don't like me, you don't like me. Then he feels bad and he just stays. So he sort of like spends a bit of time with her. And then there's just like really like, and then there's a scene just filming him just masturbating, and I just think it's more aimed for like teen boys just to laugh at in that scene. Like the film's trying to be like a comedy, like a horror sort of comedy. But this sort of story like this, I just thought, I can't. A story like this, how can you even like think of it as a comedy? And I'm not being mean. Like the main actors in the film, none of them really were good at delivering any comedy. I'm not being horrible, but the woman was just very much like she just looks like a villain anyway. Like. Well, she was the villain in the film, so they made her look like one. So like I just wasn't really seeing any comedy from her. And then the main guy, I just found him very annoying. Like he's the one you're meant to like sort of feel sorry for in the film, but I just found his character so annoying. He was just like really creepy, and he was just really irritating. He just done my head in, especially in the scene when you just watch him masturbate, and it's just like he's a bit like, he's just a little immature. I understand he's like a 20-year-old, of course, like who isn't immature at 20, but I just found him so annoying. And then as the night goes on, they just have a bit of a, they don't actually properly sleep together at this point. Next thing, the boyfriend of the woman is knocking on the door just when the main guy, Nico, is about to leave the apartment, starts knocking like mad. Oh, who you got in there? Who you got in there? Shouting at the girlfriend. What's going on? He just stays outside throughout the whole time. And then it's just like, there's just parts of the film that just drag. Like one thing will just drag for ages, and you lose interest after a bit, and you're like, what's going on now? Sorry, and you just sort of like lose interest after a bit, and it's just like, oh no, don't leave yet, because apparently like he can't just simply climb at any point in the whole of this film. He can't simply climb out the window, which they're not even that high up. They're only like the second or the first floor. I'm like, I understand if he was like a few stories, he ain't gonna like jump out the window and get out through that way, is he? But they're not even that high up. I'm pretty sure if you're in a weird situation like, you might as well just jump down. Like if you're just trapped, you might as well just climb through the window and just jump down. You probably just break like one bone or something, but it'd be better than just being stuck there. And I'm just thinking, what, he can jump down, it's not even that high. He could just climb through the pipe, couldn't he? It just doesn't make sense. The whole film doesn't. They're not even that high up. It would have made sense in the film if they're really high up and he really can't get out of the apartment. There's just no chance. And then what happens is the boyfriend keeps on knocking. Oh, who you got in there? Who you got in there? This and that. And then it just goes on this just forever. And then she just does weird shit. She tries stabbing the main guy with a bunch of scissors out of nowhere. And you're just like, what is going on? I just don't even understand. Some of it's just like, it's like a child wrote half of the script. It's just like, where is this all just coming from out of nowhere? It just didn't make sense to me. The whole film didn't. And like, the story was so interesting. So what happens is, as like time goes on throughout the whole film, he's like knocked out. One scene, Nico's just in the bathroom knocked out because the Medea is trying to like stab him with some scissors, and she succeeds in stabbing him in the leg with some scissors, but then he faints and he's passed out in the bathroom for a good while. Then all of a sudden she's just acting crazy. Then all of a sudden she gets possessed in the film. It looks like she gets possessed by the god she worships to for a good while, because her eyes go all black. And that part was quite interesting. Like, oh, what's going on here? And then all this is happening. Then the boyfriend finally starts saying to Nico, who's like outside the door, still knocking, still like kicking off, going, you should sleep, you must sleep with her, you're the chosen one. And he's like, well, what are you on about, chosen one? He's like, just sleep, you should sleep with her, sleep with her. And then next thing, and then like, and that's what he's saying. And then he like comes into the apartment. So I'm trying to remember like where it was. Yeah, so the boyfriend comes into the apartment, manages to come into the apartment, and then he like forces Nico onto the floor, like, my girlfriend's gonna sleep with you, my girlfriend's gonna sleep with you. So like forces him, and then she manages to, well, basically rape poor little Nico. And you know, basically they're saying, oh, you know, you're going to give us a child, and he's like, no, get me away from it, I'm not interested, get me away, I'm not getting caught up in all this mess, which of course no one wants to be caught up in something like fucked up as this. And there's one scene when he gets covered in a period blood, by the way, which I can't remember what point that comes to, but I just remember that very well. He gets covered in a period blood, which is like, oh, gross, ooh. So the next thing, he's like trying to leave the apartment after she's raped him, and then he gets pains in his belly out of nowhere. Nico does. So he's trying to like, as he's trying to leave the apartment, he faints and passes out. And then like the boyfriend, Medea, and her boyfriend are both smiling, and you're like, what are they smiling about? Next thing, Nico wakes up in between a bunch of candles around him, and he's literally got a baby bump. So instead of her being pregnant, it's like a weird sort of like ritual cult thing, because bows down to this goddess, I'm guessing. It said it's the other way around. The men get pregnant, which is like, well, I actually thought that was really good. I actually enjoyed that part of the story. And I did enjoy the story in this film. I just didn't like the way they were just doing fucked up things for the sake of doing fucked up things. And a lot of it just felt like it was just aimed at teens, like they're trying to make people laugh. And I just thought, I'm just like not really like getting into the comedy here. Like maybe because I'm a bit older, I'm like nearly 30, so maybe that's why I'm just not getting it. Maybe saying for teens more. So what happened was, so he's out pregnant, and then like she's there wearing like a bit of a scarf on her head. Kind of looks a bit Indian, she does, for 1 second. So like a red scarf sort of thing on her head, and she's like, "Oh wow, oh my god, you're carrying our child," like all excited, like, "Yeah, you're carrying our child," and then the poor guy's just like, "What the fuck?" Like Nico is just literally, "What the fuck?" And then comes the worst scene of the film. Here is the worst scene of this film. He gives birth, and obviously it's going to be through his butt, isn't it? He's going to give birth. So he gives birth through his butt, and obviously, he's about to give birth, and a bunch of, okay, this is so disturbing. Like, if anyone's got sensitive stomach, what I'm going to say now, I'd suggest you just, like, skip the video a little. But, okay. Yeah, but. So, he gives birth, and then a bunch of blood is coming through his butthole, like, squirting. But the worst part is, the woman stand right behind him. So he's literally just, like, gushing blood in the woman Medea's face, basically. In her face. That is disgusting. With feces coming out at the same time. And then she's literally like, yeah, all happy, like, because she's, well, nutcase anyway, I'm not being mean, but she's like crazy. So it's just all gushing in her face, and she's all happy about it, and this is literally the worst scene of the film. I was just like, oh, that is disgusting. They've just gone over the top for the sake of being over the top. And I think it's just the start of the film, so people watching be like, what's going on? And then next thing, he gives birth, and he gives birth literally in the same night. So he's pregnant in the same night, gives birth literally in the same night, and then he gives birth to the baby, who just crawls out, like the fetus, sort of thing. And then, I'm trying to remember what happens at the end, but I think by this time I just switched off. I just switched off from the film. But that is basically the ending, though. That is the ending. Gives birth to the baby. Oh yeah, that was it. And then next thing, Nico burns in the sun, and that's it. So that's all the story is. It actually had an interesting story, but I just hate the way they had to drag scenes out. There's parts where they're just dragged out and you lose interest, and the forced comedy, which is more like teens are just going to laugh at, and the fucked upness just for the sake of being fucked up. Like, this film was just, I don't even know, just as fucked up as Human Centipede. I'd say just as fucked up as that. And it was such a disappointment because the film actually looked good when I saw the DVD of it. I was like, oh my god, this looks so interesting. I actually want to see this film because it could be like a Spanish version of Misery, but with their own twist to it. But I was just disappointed in the film a little bit. Like, I thought the story was good, but just the way it was made, I just didn't like the way it was made, and added the gore factor, the things just being fucked up for the sake of being fucked up just to sell the film. I just feel like that's what it was, and I just gave up on the film, and especially that scene with, like, when the blood gushes in her face. Oh my god, that was just gross. Oh my god. I woke up the next morning and I'm like, oh, that scene just playing in my head, and I'm like, that's disgusting, that is. How messed up is that? And I was just like, that is just so gross. I understand, like, people like to, fair enough, some directors like to go to the next level. I understand some people behind writers, directors like to go to the next level in films, like to find a way for their film to be like, to sell their film. I completely understand that. They want to go to the next level, but this was just too much. I was like, who would watch this over and over again? And like the score on Rotten Tomatoes, let me like read it out. The score on Rotten Tomatoes is 40%, and the audience score is 33%. Like, well, those are low scores anyway, but who even enjoyed it? But 40%, that is nearly half. That what? How is that got 40? Wouldn't that get like? I'd expect that film to be rated like 10. But I don't know. Maybe people. But the story is actually good. I actually enjoy the story, but I just don't like the way it was made. And the main character, you meant to feel sorry for him, but I just found him so annoying. Like I just said previously in this video, I just found him very annoying. I just found him. He was just doing my head in after a bit. Just the way he was acting, I was like, I don't feel sorry for this guy because he comes across creepy anyway. It's like he's a complete innocent guy. Like, I just, that's all I gotta say. I just couldn't really get into the film. It's such a shame. And I usually enjoy like Spanish cinema. I've like watched so many Spanish films. I'm a massive Penelope Cruz fan, Antonio Banderas fan, and Javier Bardem as well. I love so much these actors, and I absolutely love Spanish cinema. But this film was just like, well, of course, I'm not saying the whole of the industry, but I absolutely love Spanish films, and then anytime I see a Spanish film, I always want to see it. But this film was just, oh my god, not watch again. I would just say, not watching this at all again. This could just go straight in the bin. Oh my god. But anyway, thank you so much for watching my little rant on this film. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and no, don't forget to leave a like and share, and feel free to subscribe as well. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all soon.